With the historical purpose of the U.S. Central Bank having moved from lender of last resort to lender of first resort, what are the risks of the Fed's balance sheet now being the biggest in financial services? 4.5 trillion is now well bigger than J.P. Morgan.
Yeah, we're already there. I think my concern is that'll be normal, and we will forever have an inflated balance sheet where the interest rate is determined effectively by administered actions through interest on reserves or the rate on a reverse repo.
Yeah.
And rather than as it was before all this, you had a supply and demand reserves determining the interest rate. I think it would be that leaves a gigantic tool for discretionary purposes for the Fed to use. The reality is, if it's there, the people in the future might very well use it.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite possible that it remains there forever. I don't think it's a good thing. So in writing, it's not a good thing, but it means there's this gigantic player out there that you just have to pay attention to. It's much less market oriented,
right,
much more interventionist, and actually I think quite dissimilar to the kind of policies that worked well in the past.
Yeah, no, I think that's very true. Last question here. Can a central bank ever have a liquidity crisis? I.e., what if the ECB needed a bailout, for example? Could or would the Fed be able to do it?
Yeah, I think for central banks, the liquidity crises occur in other currencies than their own. If it's their own currency, they don't have an issue. But that was, I think, the purpose of the purpose of the swaps that the Fed had in 2008.
Yep.
And the IMF has similar intentions in mind. If you basically have a run on dollar deposits and you're in a country that uses a different currency, then you are limited in your liquidity support. So some systematic way to think about these swap lines, I think, is important for the future. What the Fed, I think, during the crisis did, it wasn't clear what they were doing at the time to a lot of people, but that seems like the kind of thing to do. But it maybe should be an international organization rather than rely on one central bank.
Yep.